To counteract yesterday's really badly lit vlog, guys, and welcome into the Roxy Report. Okay, so I wanted to give some shout outs and some comments today because you guys are amazing, and what better way than to read out some of your awesome comments and just give back to my community, which is just so fantastic. Nicole G says, I wish you all the very best, Roxy, from another UK trans girl. Well, Manchester. Nice video. Now, I actually subscribed. You're fantastic. Thank you ever so much for the lovely comment. Toasted Roast says, hopefully the clinic will get their act together and be helpful. I loved your Watch Dogs video, by the way, and the tiny details you pointed out, things I would never have noticed, to be honest, if I was playing. But on the other hand, if I was in GTA, I tend to walk behind civilians and listen to their conversations. Car Bluetooth phone calls, seriously, some folks have it way too loud. Even with a closed door and windows, you still hear it on the outside. Almost as bad as those rude boys in their GTIs with their car bass box up full whack on level of annoyance. I completely agree with you. I absolutely hate people blasting really crappy music out of their cars. But yeah, I really hope that the gender clinic can change and something does come of me saying something. I may do a big rant video at some point, kind of putting out the key points, so if you want to see that, comment down below and tell me. January Powell says, I liked your Watch Dogs video. You made it look like a nice place to visit. Science fiction, fantasy, or other escapist fiction is what I like. Is that a trans thing? I don't know. I mean, I think the idea of escapism is something that is absolutely fantastic, and you can kind of get away from your own life, and I suppose anyone that's going through something difficult can use that escapism for a good thing. So I would say that escapism in any case is good. But yeah, I think if you are transgender, playing especially as a female character can be really good, and it can immerse you a little bit more because you can feel like who you're supposed to be, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I completely agree with you on that aspect. Really immersive experiences, preferably without zombies, armed conflict, etc. Make it sound like a game I should buy, unless there is something better for a game that is just a nice place to visit. I really would recommend checking out stuff like Mafia 2. That world is great and so detailed. And stuff like LA Noire is also really, really cool just to escape to. Also the stuff like the Pokemon games. I really enjoy stuff like that. I enjoyed just walking around the little towns and talking to people and just kind of exploring. I suppose that was the first experience of kind of open world games I had, so I would recommend those as well in some ways. Jeannie Wilder says, I've just in the last week or so bought Watch Dogs for my PS3, so I'm looking forward to just free roaming and exploring. I cannot agree with you more. CI5 Lactic says, I know that ad, the flashy guy with his Lambo and his books. What's in the CEX bag? I'm a nosy sod. If you wonder what he's talking about yesterday, Here in My Garage. Now, if you guys look up on YouTube, Here in My Garage, it's this guy called Ty Lopez, I think, and he's this really kind of very well-spoken, very kind of agreeable kind of person, but he's trying to sell you the idea that you can make millions in a couple of days and by reading books every day. But yeah, it's a really, really weird ad. But I really want to do a parody on it at some point. Me and my dad are going to be working on it, so expect something maybe soon on that. Kelpie Inkpot says, that's cool. Chicago is the sister city to my town, Winnipeg. I didn't realise that Winnipeg was so close. I'm obviously not that up to date with the US kind of like geography. I really want to explore the US. Jeez, I can't wait to go back at some point. Hannah says, it's not your accent I love as much as your persona. Noun was my grandmother's real name. We pronounce these words the same as you expect. I speak with a very strong Iron Range accent of North Minnesota. In as much as Canada is very near to us, we have a bit of that tossed into our language structure. When we travel, people just stare at us while we speak. Have you seen the new movie Fargo? Well, that is exploited example of our dictation. Way overdone in the movie. Think of it this way, when we speak, we use all the vowels to the extreme. On the other point, my wife and I love English shows and make lists of words and expressions that differ. Really, really fun to do. Yeah, it's crazy how kind of like geography can change an accent so much. It's like in England, you don't really expect England to have many different accents, but if you look at someone from down south and someone up north, it's completely different. And England's not that big. It's crazy the difference of dialects and kind of accents and stuff like that. But yeah, if you want to send me any words you want me to say, or if any words that you've heard that are British and you don't really understand, and you want me to read them out, I will. I have one to read out from Kim. Kim says, okay, so I have some that are a bit less generalized. Is cheers, thanks, congratulations, or what? Well, cheers is kind of like thanks, or kind of like it's a nice way of basically being like, oh, cheers for that, kind of like, oh, thank you for that, that's really kind of you. What is a wanker, tosser, prat, or git? Is there any difference? They're all just twats. There's not really much of a difference. They're all just nonsense. I'm adding words to the list of words that you can now use. Prats, yeah, basically all of those are just idiots. What is the difference between high tea and tea? I didn't know there was. I only drink tea. I suppose high tea is drunk at midday, I think. It's kind of like the same idea as the Westerns. It's like, I will fight you at high noon, and then they meet each other at sunrise or whatever, or noon, probably. It's kind of in the title. But no, high tea, I think that's the kind of same thing. What is bangers and mash? Bangers and mash are sausage and mashed potato, like smash, or I don't know if you have smash in the US, but yeah, basically it's just sausages and smash, and you put them together and eat them, and they're very, very tasty. Hannah also says, I love your family. Hard not to love people who are supportive of you. Be well, my young friend. Keep smiling that wonderful, infectious smile. You're so sweet. It's so sweet. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you ever so much for the awesome comments you guys leave, and just the amazing support that you guys give me every day. It means the absolute world, and you're all fantastic. Thanks for watching, but until next time, that's me, out. Bye, guys.